we're changing out this ball joint, and the first thing we really need to do is get this rotor shield out of the way, because it's going to interfere with the ability to put any type of press on here to push this out. If you look at the other side, there are these Phillips head Phillips head screws holding it in place right here, but the wheel hub is in the way. So easiest thing to do is just use some like vice grip pliers and just grab the sides of the screw and just turn it that way. Once you have all three of those screws out, it's simple enough to just take this piece and rotate it. So now we have complete access to the ball joint. There's a snap ring that holds this in place. It's right around this groove here. So you need to remove this snap ring before you can get the ball joint out. All right, here's a setup. This is a hollow tube, which is bigger than the base of the ball joint and kind of braces against your nut, your knuckle. And then you have this plate, which you just use to hold this end of this giant C-clamp against. And then here, there is a plunger pushing against the end of the tie rod, and you just torque this down and it should force this through here. We really just need to get it started and get some motion, then we can get some more lube in there, and you just continue to add a little bit more. At some point, you'll just be able to knock this thing out with a hammer. You'll notice when you're putting this all together, by the way, that the way this knuckle is designed in the Del Sol, it's almost impossible to get a proper sleeve in here. It's going to end up being like tilted or like stopping the bearing from coming out. So just do your best, and you should be able to just get like just this little bit of motion on the bearing. And once that happens and you get just a little bit, you can get some lube in there and we can start pounding this out. Once we have that little bit of motion, actually what I'm going to use to drive this is this driving bolt from a bearing press set, because this is wide enough to go around the whole shaft, push directly on the ball, and then we can just smash off the top here and it'll move everything along. And here you can see it's been removed. Then we'll get ready to put our new one in. Putting a new ball joint in tends to be a little bit more straightforward. This is the ball joint I'm going to put in. It inserts from this side this way, and we're going to press through this way. But now I have a nice even surface on this outside here to put this entire sleeve against. This sleeve is going to go right here. And then on the other end of the sleeve, we're going to put this plate to hold it in place, which is where this entire driving bolt is going to go through. On this side, we're just going to push on this end with the back end of this clamp. And this ball joint that I bought came with this nice little insulation adapter, which actually fits very nicely against the edge of the ball joint, so I don't push directly on the center of it. And the C-clamp's going to fit around this lip right here. So I was very happy to find this in my ball joint set. So here's the final setup before I start torquing down. We're going to torque from this end, the bolt. This is a solid plate which is nested inside this hollow cylinder. This is the ball joint that's going to get pushed all the way this way, so there's room in the cylinder for it to go. This is that little adapter plate that came with my ball joint, and then I have the end of the C-clamp right here that is going to all get this driven in. The only way for this to move is going to be for this ball joint to go that way once I start torquing. Once the ball joint's fully inserted, you're going to see it's gone this far in, and you can see this little groove has come to the other side. That's the groove that this snap ring is going to get inserted into. After you have this clip in place, holding the snap ring holding the bearing in, the last thing you need to do is just reattach the rotor shield. Remember, it was held on by these 3 Phillips head screws, 1, 2, and then 1 on this side. And then you can put this knuckle back in the car, which I'll do in a different video.